It's been 2 months since the intense October 7th clash initiated by Hamas, leading to a tragic series of events that sadly cost the lives of over 22,000 Palestinians and injured thousands due to Israel's counter-bombings. This information comes from the health ministry in the area controlled by Hamas. As the world watches with a mix of shock and horror, there's a loud and clear call from many countries globally for a ceasefire. The international community, seeing the distressing humanitarian situation, is demanding an immediate stop to the violence and a peaceful resolution to the conflict. In the core of Gaza, where necessities are hanging by a thread, the need for a solution is getting more urgent every day. Amidst all this confusion, people around the world are curious about Hamas and its mysterious leaders. Who are the people running this influential organization? What motivates them? Today, in our video, we're diving into a quick history of Hamas and checking out the eye-popping billion-dollar wealth linked to its leaders. Join us as we unravel the secrets behind this impactful group, shining a light on the complexities of a conflict that's still shaping lives and landscapes. What exactly is Hamas? It's the late 1970s, and in an interesting turn of global events, Israel is involved in the formation of what would later become one of the world's most infamous militant groups, Hamas. Yes, you heard it right. Hamas, standing for Islamic Resistance Movement, wasn't exactly a solo act. In the political landscape of Palestine back then, Israel chose to support a group of Palestinian Islamists, providing them with financial backing. Why? It was a strategic move, a kind of counterbalance game against the secular Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO, which was gaining popularity. The idea was to pit these Islamists, aka Hamas, against the leftists and secularists of Yasser Arafat's Fatah Party and the Palestine Liberation Organization. Yasser Arafat was seen as a threat to Israel's security and influence in the region. By backing Hamas, Israel aimed to weaken Arafat's power and create divisions within the Palestinian political scene. However, this plan ultimately backfired as Hamas grew stronger and more radical, leading to a prolonged and violent conflict between Israel and the militant group. Fast forward to today, and Hamas is not just a historical footnote, it's a significant player in the political landscape of the Palestinian territories, governing over 2 million people in the Gaza Strip. Having taken control of Gaza after winning the Palestinian parliamentary elections in 2006, the last time such elections were held, it has been in charge of the Gaza Strip, sharing the Islamist ideology of the Muslim Brotherhood. It has gained popular support among Palestinians for providing social services and resisting the Israeli occupation. Its rise to power has complicated the already intricate dynamics of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, making resolving even more challenging. And during all this chaos, we've got the 3 Hamas leaders, Ismail Haniyeh, Musa Abu Marzouk, and Khalid Mashal, living it up in Qatar and Turkey. These guys are living the high life, complete with luxury accommodations and private jets. We're talking about a combined fortune of $11 billion, as yes, you heard it right, $11 billion. Now, here's the burning question. How on earth does a group that is labeled as a terrorist organization end up swimming in such a sea of wealth? Buckle up, because we're about to unravel the million-dollar mystery. Who funds Hamas? The primary financier is Iran, which contributes a whopping 70% of the group's financial support. And that's not all. Qatar and Turkey chip in around $150 million each per year. Then there are the Palestinian expats. And private donors from all corners of the globe also play a role in funding Hamas, ensuring that the leadership maintains its grip on the Gaza Strip. Flashback to 16 years ago when Hamas took over Gaza. Israel, the US, and the international community were scratching their heads, trying to help Gazans without boosting Hamas. One solution that was proposed was to channel humanitarian aid through international organizations and NGOs instead of directly to the Hamas-led government. This way, assistance could reach the people in need, while minimizing the risk of inadvertently supporting Hamas's activities. However, putting this strategy into practice proved difficult because it required careful coordination and oversight to make sure Hamas did not divert funds for their uses. In response, Hamas set up its own police force tax system and civil service employees. They also kept their finances secret by never releasing budget details to the public. Despite multiple crackdowns by the U.S. Treasury Department on Hamas leaders, the organization remains well-funded thanks to a maze of shell companies and complex money laundering schemes that make it difficult for authorities to trace the exact sources of funding and crack down on the flow of money to Hamas. Hence today, Hamas has climbed the ranks to become the second wealthiest resistance group on the planet, right behind the big, bad wolf, ISIS. And what's crazier, according to the New York Post, their leaders aren't just counting cash, they're spotted at fancy diplomatic clubs and jet-setting on private planes, like the elite they have become. Oh, and here's a curveball. Despite being labeled as a terrorist organization by the United States and European Union, Hamas reportedly raked in about $400 million from the United Nations, which, by the way, doesn't officially recognize them as terrorists. Now coming to the leaders. According to a social media post from the Israeli embassy in the US, it seems like the leaders of Hamas are swimming in a pool of cash. Ismail Haniyeh and Khaled Mashal are rumored to be floating on $4 billion each, while Musa Abu Marzouk, the Hamas Political Bureau deputy chairman, is riding a wave with $3 billion. Add it all up, and we are looking at a jaw-dropping $11 billion. This colossal amount, which could have been used to benefit Gaza civilians, appears to have taken a detour into the hands of its leaders to support their extravagant lifestyles rather than aiding societal progress. The post, which has now been deleted, also spilled the beans on Hamas's financial playbook, stating that they're raking in a whopping $1 billion annually. Now that's some serious cash raining down into their pockets every year. For those wondering how they are doing it, turns out they've got their hands in the global money pie, playing with cryptocurrency, diving into real estate, running legit businesses, and, of course, collecting tax from the population living in the areas they control. The post also showed Ismail Haniyeh allegedly living the high life in opulent hotels in Qatar and Turkey with his two adult sons, Maaz and Abdel Salam. Maaz Haniyeh, the son of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, is said to be known in Gaza as the father of real estate due to his collection of villas and buildings. According to Israel Today, he lives a lavish lifestyle in Turkey and recently obtained a Turkish passport. Meanwhile, Khaled Mashal, the former head of its political bureau, boasts a $4 billion net worth with investments scattered across Egyptian banks and real estate projects in the Arabian Gulf. Reports also suggest that the Four Seasons Hotel in Doha, Qatar, serves as a swanky headquarters for Khaled Mashal. Mashal even held a press conference there in 2015, redefining the term luxury warfare. The opulent hotel has been described as reimagined with modern grandeur. The beachfront urban retreat was transformed into a vibrant hotspot, from the elegant lobby to the energetic restaurants and lounges. The use of Doha's Four Seasons Hotel as a base for Hamas leaders has sparked debate and raised questions about Qatar's support for the group. Critics argue that Qatar's hosting of Hamas leaders at the luxurious Four Seasons Hotel raises concerns about the country's stance on terrorism and its potential role in funding extremist activities. However, supporters of Qatar's approach argue that providing a comfortable environment for negotiations and discussions can help facilitate peaceful resolutions and promote dialogue between conflicting parties. While these leaders bask in their glory, the majority of Gaza's population has been living in severe poverty. The stark contrast between the leaders' high-flying lifestyle and the hardships of the people has sparked criticism and calls for action, making many wonder if the Four Seasons is the stage for peace talks or just a luxurious backdrop for political posturing.